Hello, welcome to the Parasha Study Parashat. Today we're going to take a look at a very interesting Rashi, but in order to understand the comment of Rashi, you first have to take a look at the Pesukim towards the beginning of the Parasha. We're introduced to this statement of the Torah, Ele ha'chukim v'hamishpatim, asher tishberun ba'aretz, asher tishberun la'asok ba'aretz, asher natan Adonai Elohecha lecha l'rishtah, kol hayamim asher atem hayim ala adamah. Introductory pasuk. These are the mitzvot that you're going to do in the land that Hashem is giving you to inherit. And really, it's a pasuk. This pasuk Yud Bet and Perek Yud Bet really opens us up to a whole slew of mitzvot that Moshe Rabbeinu was going to talk about for the next 14 perakim. These are the Hukim and Mishpatim. And obviously, they're going to be focused on conducting yourself in the land. They're going to be focused on economic mitzvot in the land, leadership mitzvot in the land, exactly what you need to do. But first, we get kind of this idea about a Beit HaMikdash. So watch how the Pesukim go. A Beit HaBidun Kol HaMikomot, Asher Avedu Sham HaGoyim. Get rid of all the places that the non-Jews had worship. Asher Atem Yorshim Otam. And what do you need to get? The Goyim that obviously you're inheriting, you're conquering their land. And what do you need to get rid of in all these places? Et Elohim. Get rid of their gods in all these places that they place their idol worship. Al Harim Haramim, the mountaintops, which is very common to place Avodah Zarah on top of mountaintops, on high venues, anywhere in the valleys, under any form of trees, which apparently was also something under worship of God under the tree. Okay, so get rid of this stuff. And continues in Pasuk Gimel, not just get rid of their Elohim, their gods, but rather tastim mizbehotam, destroy the mizbehot, shibatim and matzevotam, the matzeva that she goes into. What's the difference between the matzeva and mizbeah? Matzeva is a monument of a big rock. Mizbeah is you take rocks and build something together, many rocks. But asherehim tisafun va'esh, burn the asherah tree, which was a type of tree that they used to worship Avodah Zarah. Usilei Elohim tegade'un, get rid of the idols. V'batim shema min hamakom hahu, you want the name to disappear. So obviously through doing everything you're doing, but she goes even further, make the name a name, change the names from names of Avodah Zarah to names of mockery. And then we see this idea, don't do this to God. What is this? Unclear. You spoke about two different things. You spoke about having a mizbeach in a lot of different places. And you're telling me don't do that. Have only one place of worship. Don't worship what everybody else is worshiping. Kol hamikomot, it said, have one makom, and that's what it sounds like from Pasuk Ki, but rather, but rather the place that God is going to choose from all your Shivatim, the place his name upon, that's where you should go and come there. So that's definitely one way of interpreting the Pasuk. You have one place we call shiftechem. That's option number one. Option number two is to say like this: get rid of the name from that place. Don't do that to Hashem. Don't get rid of his name, but rather than the place that Hashem is going to assume Shemo Sham, make sure you keep it there. Never get rid of his name. Look what Rashi does, very interestingly. He says, don't do this to Hashem. So first he says, like to offer to God in every place. The first Pirush, have one place where you're going to serve Hashem. But then he continues and says, second option. Get rid of their name, destroy the mizbahot, Hashem, don't do this to God. Azhara, it's a warning, it's a mitzvah, lo ta'aseh, lo moheket Hashem, lo notes even min mizbeach, to destroy any part of Avodat Hashem. Don't destroy a Mizbeach. Don't literally get rid of the name of Hashem, even if it's on a piece of paper. From here we learn the concept of Genizah. And what happens here? Why does Rashi feel the need to give us two explanations? And I think if you take a look at the Pesukim, it's actually very interesting. If you wanted to say it's worship God in one place, it should say like this: Lo ta'asum kim Adonai Elohim, kim makom asher had Hashem l'kol shiftechem, asum shemo sham, l'sheno tidishu v'hata sham. It shouldn't say v'hata sham. It should say avatim shama. Worship Hashem there. If you're saying Lo kol ha'mekomot asher avedu sham hagoyim, Hashem has one makom, say avedu. Why doesn't it say avedu? Because it wants to give us reason to say that maybe that's not the explanation, and therefore it uses a different Bata Shama, word I haven't seen yet. And rather, it highlights, and why does the second explanation have something beneficial to it? Because it says, Lasum et Shemo Sham, the place that God is placing his name. So don't get Shemam from that makom, and now I have a makom that God is placing Lasum et Shemo Sham. Why doesn't it work so greatly? Because it says the intention is don't do this to Hashem, but rather have one place. There's a positive that seems to be coming out of it. So what does Rashi essentially do? He takes the positive, have one place, but also the negative, don't get rid of Hashem's name within that one place, tying them together that they're really connected. And that's how Rashi is Mefaresh, when you realize that these two explanations are not really one or two separate things, but rather the continuation. Have only one place for Hashem, and within that one place, do not get rid of the name of Hashem. We need both. Now, here's what gets really interesting. The statement of Rabbi Ishmael. I'm Rabbi Ishmael. You think you need to tell me Am Yisrael are going to come to destroy the Mizbeach? Well, what does that possibly mean? Of course, that's incomprehensible. You need to give me a warning, don't destroy the Mizbeach of Hashem and the Beit HaMikdash. Do you think that's possible? That someone would ever think of doing that? Rather, what it means, don't do the avodah that they did to their gods, as it's going to say later in the Torah. And don't do the evil actions in general. And your sins will then cause the mikdash. Your sins will cause the mikdash to be destroyed. Meaning, not that don't destroy the Beit HaMikdash physically, but don't destroy the Beit HaMikdash through spiritually sinning and causing the Beit HaMikdash to be destroyed. And here Rashi adds us something tremendous that everybody who's learning Torah needs to know, needs to instill in themselves, that our physical world is impacted by our spiritual actions. Our mitzvot, or lack thereof of what we do, have a physical impact in the building or destruction of the world that we have. So besides for actually helping us read the Pesukim and helping us go into the Pesukim, Rashi also ends up instilling us a valuable lesson about how to understand our relationship between the physical and our spiritual world. I just want to take note of one last thing. Rashi, throughout this Perikut bit, there's tremendous amounts of repetition. There's tremendous amounts of confusing Pesukim. And really his commentary here is quite essential to understand the Pesukim. It seems to be redundant. It seems to be repetitive. It's really impossible to understand these Pesukim in this Perek properly without the commentary of Rashi. I urge you all to learn fully Shitat Rashi on this Perek bit, because really without it, it's really incomprehensible. So take this as a little bit of a jump start and continue finishing it throughout the Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom and Chodesh Tov V'Vorach.